You left your wife, children, all the, done and everything, wealth, and then you fall in like little deer. He started feeling this deer is my love. I need to protect, I need to protect him. But he forgot Krishna protect. That he forgot. Because he was under the illusion, temporary. But because he was such a great devotee, when he left his body, he became a deer, right? We all know the story. And after he stayed very temporary in that deer body, right? And then he took a birth in the Brahmin's family and became Jad Bharat. That's where we are here right now. Jad Bharat. Now Jad Bharat was very Jad. Means he was very, what was it? Huh? He was a down. Right? He didn't know what is worldly thing. Do I need to go to party or not? Birthday party or not? He doesn't know. He didn't care even. He was running around in the forest and he was grabbed by these palanquin carriers. 3 of them. They are on the level of Sudra level. We are also Sudra. We working very hard. Sudra. Kalo Sudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga we become Sudra. Working very hard. We think if we work hard, we will have more, right? We work so hard. We work hard in India and then we come here and we work more hard, right? Yeah. Every dollar we save and we come says, I want to have everything, right? That's what we do. So I think that that's how, because we work for somebody else. Remember that. That's called Sudra, And so in Sudra, but he says, Prabhupada has taught us that sanskaret bhavet brahmin. If you perform all these sanskara, if you become this, put this in your life little bit, you become Brahmin. And you can have a thread of a Brahmin,
We kind of like Atmasamurpan to God, like Krishna, and then like do the work that will be taken care of by the God.
Say that again.
If we kind of like leave it to Krishna, whatever action we do, then he will take care of it.
Yes. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, he says that Yagnarthat karmanonyatra loko em karma bandhanaha. If you don't offer everything you do to me, Arjun, then you will be bound. Bound means that you are going to definitely get another body and you don't know what kind of body you're going to get. That's what Krishna says. In chapter 8, he repeats that. And he says, Yam yam vapi smarana bhave tyajanti ante kalavaram tam tam iti konteya sada tad bhav bhavita. Whatever the bhav, whatever the mental situation you have, you do the work, that's the kind. If you have a doggish mentality at the time of leaving your body, you're going to be a dog, guaranteed. Some people say, I don't believe it, but who cares if you believe it or not believe it? You're going to be, because Krishna says it. He says in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 8. So we have to see this, right? And then he said, like I repeat here a lot of times, I have one friend. He says that I gave him Bhagavad Gita. And he says, I said, if you read it, your life will be very successful. And at the end, you will have peace and happiness and you will get a better body. He said, I don't want better body. I want to be a dog. That is called a doggish mentality, right? What do you call it? So some people, Krishna says it takes so long, But Krishna says in chapter here that swalpapi dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. If you do little bit, Arjun, then the greatest danger of falling down into this species of all these dogs, this subhuman species, dog and cat, and you prevent at least that much. If you chant, if you go to the temple, bow down to him, you automatically get a human form, Yeah, automatically you get human form. It is guaranteed by Krishna. So if you get human form, then you have an opportunity to elevate yourself more, Because in human form only we can do this. Ahar nidra bhai maitun samanya etet pasubhir naranam. In nar and pasu, this same thing. Ahar, you eat the whole day. Nidra, you sleep. After eating, what do? Let me go to sleep. Right? So, mating, that is same thing in a dog and us. Dharme hi tesa adhiko viswaso dharmena vina pasubhir naranam. Without dharma, without this. And what is dharma? Dharma is not the religion. Religion is a kind of faith. It's called in the dictionary. Dharma is not a faith. You cannot change your dharma. Dharma means duty. What is your duty? It has been defined, in Srimad Bhagavatam, that whatever Krishna has given is the dharma. You see, that's what the dharma. And what is Krishna says? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vaja. You leave all the religions. Bhatru Prem, Pitru Dharma, Matru Dharma, leave everything, come under my shelter and you will be done. That's what he told Arjun too. Right? Arjun is worried. In the first chapter when you read, right? Arjun said, this is my brother, how can I kill? This is my acharya, this is my teacher, how can I kill? And Arjun said, oh, if I kill, nobody will be lived here. And all these women will become prostitutes, like that. So many reasons he wanted not to fight. What is Arjun's duty was? What is his religion was? Kshatriya. He's supposed to fight. Doesn't matter who comes in picture. And when the supreme order comes from the judge that you kill him, done. There is no sinful activity. There is no sin incurred when the supreme person says that you fight and you kill him. Because you are doing under his order. You see. So that's what it is. You see. So anyway, Bharat Maharaj, under Jad Bharat, he was acting from outside he's acting like he's like a dumb, not very, very not knowledgeable, nothing. But inside he was very, very elevated person. He was spiritually elevated. So when King Rahugan, he was carrying the palanquin of King Rahugan, at that time when he sees the ant going on the road, he was jumping, because he don't want to kill them, that little ants. So at that point, the King Rahugan becomes very, very mad that, hey, who is holding my palanquin and shaking up? So those two Sudras, three, they say, hey, this is the man. We are carrying it properly, but this is the man who is causing the trouble. He don't know how to carry. But actually, King, he was carrying perfectly. He was doing his perfect duty. He was very compassionate about those ants, which is walking on the road. So he was jumping when he sees them, right? So we read all about that, and Jad Bharat continue, and then Jad Bharat speaks. Bharat Maharaj says that I am interiorly very much God conscious and very elevated, on a very, very, I know everything, and whatever you tell me, King, I don't care. I am not this body. I am a spirit soul, and it doesn't affect me. You keep on going telling me. At that point, King Rahugan, whose palanquin, he was inside the palanquin, he tell his people to put down the palanquin. He comes out and he bow down. He bow down to him to the Jad Bharat and say, "Oh, you must be a very great soul the way you are speaking." That's where this is coming up. And now, so whenever we see that there are elevated personalities, like Srila Prabhupada, we have so many in ISKCON too. They are so much knowledgeable and they are very humble, and they distribute this knowledge, So when you see them, you should offer your pranam, dandvat pranam to them, Why? Because you need their mercy, you see. Without their mercy, you cannot progress. Mercy means blessings, they give blessings, and they don't ask for any money, you see. That's the blessing which works. If they say, give me $100, that means it doesn't work. For sure. Because this is not a commercial business. Prahlad Maharaj was when he was asking for things, then Nrsingadev asked him that, okay, you ask me whatever, Prahlad, I'm very pleased with you. Right? You saw in the movie, Mahavatar. What is the name? Mahavatar something we saw? Mahavatar Nrsingadev. Yeah. So in that, Prahlad Maharaj is asking, Nrsingadev is asking that I'm very pleased with you, you know. So you ask whatever you want. So at that time, Prahlad Maharaj says, I am not a merchant doing a mercantile business with you. Supreme Personality of Godhead, I do not need anything, you know. So this is how the devotees are. They don't ask for anything, you know. They don't want anything, you know. So those pure devotees, this is one of the symptoms of a pure devotee, that he's not looking something, or he's not checking your pockets that how much money you have. That you know that he's pure, you know. So nowadays you got to, Prabhupada says to us that how to choose a real nice person who can give you knowledge, you know. This is how you choose that the knowledge. That is, you also, when you decide who you want to follow, you want to observe them for 6 months. That is he really looking to do good to me, or he is looking to good to do to him, taking advantage of me. That you have to, for 6 months. This is how we have it in here in ISKCON. When you make a guru, your guru also has to accept you, and you also have to accept the guru. So this is the criteria. Is my guru actually can be my guru, you know? That you have to decide, you know? This is how you decide. There are so many cheaters, Prabhupada says, in this material world. If you ask for a cheater, you will get cheater. You go easy route and say, Maharaj, can you take $100 and pray for me? He say, okay, give me $100 and I'll pray for you. Right? Those are cheaters. Because you asked for it. Because you didn't want it to do it. You said that, you know, I have seen this in other temples, you know. I go, okay, I will give $100. He'll do the flower for me. No. You know. You see this little girl brought the fruit basket and then we put it at lotus feet of Krishna. It's simply like that. You know. You have to do it yourself. You know. So, here also Jad Bharat is saying, we'll read one verse and then I'll stop. So, we are at the text number 16, okay? So, hopefully, it's very, very nice. King Rahugan still speaking and says, Kataswam Niguda Charasi Dvijanam Bibarsi Sutram Katamo Avadutaha Kasyami Kutrasya Ihapi Kasmat Kshemaya Nasa Cheda Asi Nota Suklaha Kataswam Niguta Charasi Dvijanam Bibarsi Sutram Katamo Avadutaha Kasyasi Kutratya Ihapi Kasmat Kshemaya Nasacheda Asinota Suklaha. Word by word translation by Sri Prabhupada. Kasatvam. Who are you? Nigudaha. Very much covered. Charasi. You move within this world. Dvijam. Among the Brahmans or saintly persons. Bibarsi. You also wear. Sutram. The sacred thread belonging to the first class Brahmins. Katamaha. which Avdutaha, highly elevated person. Kashyapi, whose are you? Whose disciple or son are you? Kutratyaha, from where? Iha api, here in this place. Kasmat, for what purpose? Kshemaya, for the benefit. Naha, of us. Cheta, if. Asi, you are. Na uta, or not. Suklaha, the personality of the pure mode of goodness. Kapil Dev Maharaj. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. King Rahugan said, O Brahman, you appear to be moving in this world very much covered and unknown to others. Who are you? Are you a learned Brahman and saintly person? I see that you are wearing a sacred thread. Are you one of those exalted, liberated saints, such as Dattatreya, and other highly advanced learned scholars? May I ask, whose disciple are you? Where do you live? Why have you come to this place? Is your mission in coming here to do good for us? Please let me know who you are. So this is the question by King Rahugan. Now he is little bit wanted to know who this person is, because he seems like a very knowledgeable. So he said, Maharaja Rahugan was very anxious to receive further enlightenment in Vedic knowledge, because he could understand that Jad Bharat belonged to a Brahman family, either by disciplic succession or by birth in a Brahman dynasty. As stated in the Vedas, Tad Vignartham Sagurum Evam Abhigachet. Rahugan was accepting Jad Bharat as a guru, but a guru must prove his position not only by wearing a sacred thread, but by advancing knowledge in spiritual life. It is also significant that Rahugan asked Jad Bharat which family he belongs to. There are two types of family, one according to the dynasty and the other according to the disciplic succession. In either way, one can be enlightened. The word Suklaha refers to a person in the mode of goodness. If one wants to receive spiritual knowledge, he must approach a bona fide Brahman Guru, either in the disciplic succession or in a family of learned Brahmins. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurananmilitena Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupanga Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Tamischa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Tvishe Namaha Krishna Vanam Tasa Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parsaram Yagnai Sankirtane Prayajanti Someksa Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajastane Taddam Vrindavana Ramya Kachito Upasna Vrajavadu Vargenava Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Prema Prumortho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Adara Naparaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Parisaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Parisaya Bhutale Srimate Vedvyas Priya Swami Ti Namine. So Srila Prabhupada, this slok is text number 16, it's canto 5, and it's a dialogue between Rahugan and Jad Bharat. And it says, Kataswam Nigudascha Arasi Dvijanam vibarsi sutram katamo avdutah kashyami kutrasya ihapi kasmat kshemaya nandes dasi not suklaha. And Prabhupada translates that King Rahugan said, "O Brahman, you appear to be moving in this world very much covered and unknown to the others." So we all knew from the story itself that Jad Bharat was hidden, he was hidden. He did not want to do anything with anybody else because he doesn't want all these distractions. And we have one Acharya in our line also. He didn't want to have anything to do with all these material people. He don't want to have any destruction from all these people. Distractions. You know who that is? No. Gaur Kishore Babaji, who is our Acharya, Guru Parampara. And what he was doing is chanting holy name of Hare Krishna where everybody go toilet outside. So nobody bothers him. He chant Hare Krishna, Krishna. And he doesn't have anything to do with anybody. Nobody can bother him because nobody wants to say, oh, who want to go there? So he used to do that, Because otherwise, in a normal way, people get distracted and people keep on saying, do this and do that. And, especially India where, there are a lot of people stay together and there's a lot of disturbances and no peace, So he was doing that. So here also, Jad Bharat also, he didn't want to do anything to do with the worldly thing, Interiorly, he was highly elevated personality, He was Maharaj Bharat anyway, right? We all know now, that Bharat Maharaj, because of all this temporary, temporary. This is where we learn that how come such an elevated devotee gets such a trouble, How would he fall into love with this little deer, right? We should have think in our life that he got this into trouble, temporary. Those who loves Krishna gives them little temporary jinx, a jinx, that, okay, I want to see you, so that because he fall down into this, in this deer business, so he got a little jinx. So he got into, but he remember everything in the body of a deer, right? The whole complete knowledge, he remembered it, Such a great personality he was. So this time he don't want to make a mistake. Remember, last time the deer was the distraction, and he fall down. This time he want to get out of this material world, no more birth, no more old age, no more disease, no more, no more Trivittap, anybody. So that's what he did. And that's why he is doing that. But King Rahugan is surprised because he revealed himself now that who he is, Although from outside he looks, it's a dumb guy walking around, no idea what he's doing. People were throwing rock at him, right? Similarly, in the same footstep like King our Rushabdev Maharaj, he did not wear clothes. He was avdut, long hair. He was not on a body. Doesn't matter, People throw dust on him, rock on him, throw water on him. Similarly, our Sukdev Goswami, who actually is speaking here, he was also on that platform. The only reason who he stopped by at somebody's house what was the reason? Sukdev Goswami, for a glass of little milk. Why was he stopping down? So that he can do good to that person. Sukdev Goswami was an elevated person, completely Brahm knowledge, and he was on a Brahmabhuta platform. And he was walking. People were throwing rocks, and he said, we can say, oh, he's just insane guy, That's what we talk, right? So that's platform he was too. But look at this. When everybody was waiting on the bank of Ganges, everybody was there. Vyasdev was there, Narad was there, Brahma was there, and they were giving different ideas to Parikshit Maharaj how to save himself from a death, which is only 7 days left, right? Everybody was giving different ideas. That, you can donate this much of a gold, put in one side and measure the gold and then, Like that, different ideas everybody was giving. Then when Sukadeva Goswami walked into that gathering, then everybody says that whatever the Sukadeva Goswami says is the final thing. And that's where he speaks Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukhad amruta drava sanyatam pipata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavata. This is what it is. This, because it is touched by Sukadeva Goswami, it is more, more nectarian, so much nectar. That's why it is recommended for us to hear it. Every time there is a time, we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam, because that's a nectar pouring in our ear. And through that, Krishna gets into our heart. He says, Srunvatam swakatha Krishna punya sravana kirtanam. So auspicious, that it takes away all the dirty things from our heart. All the lust goes, all the anger goes, everything goes from our heart, and it becomes so pure. The heart becomes so pure. And that helps us, we can advance spiritually. Because our goal is to advance spiritually. Now our goal is not to, advance materially. Materially we have everything, isn't it? Isn't we have materially everything? Would you say yes? Materially we are done, So we should advance spiritually, That is recommended for us. This is the recommendation by big acharyas, these scriptures. Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. They all say the same thing. They are just like a railway line, going to the same parallel thing. They should all be matching with each other. If our Guru or Sadhu says something different than the scriptures, Shastra, we know he is no good. This is how you can measure. Is my Guru speaking from Shastra? This is how we have to say. Is this Sadhu, who I am giving so much respect, is he speaking for Shastra? Or is he speaking the same thing as my Guru? This is the, test we can do. To see is the person is right. Because Srila Prabhupada advises us that if we hear from the pure personality, then it makes a effect. If the milk touched by the snake becomes poison, doesn't matter. So we have to hear from the right source. And this is the right source here. This knowledge has come into descending from Krishna himself. Krishna says that I told this knowledge to Vivaswan many, many years ago. And thus came. This Bhagavad Gita is linked all the way to Krishna, to Brahma, to Narad, to everybody. Coming down into the disciplic parampara. That's why this knowledge is very effective for us. Those who read, those who put into their life, it becomes very successful. We have seen it time after time after time. So we can do the same thing, if we can put this in our life. So here Maharaj Rahugan says that, are you a learned Brahman and saintly person? He's very inquisitive now. Who is this person? Such a great person, because he already offered him the humble obeisances. He come out of the palanquin, the palki, and then fall flat, with his head down at his lotus feet of Jad Bharat. So now he wanted to know who this personality is, because the way he speaks, because Rahugan himself was a very learned scholar himself in a spiritual knowledge. So he's wanted to know. I see that you are wearing a sacred thread, The Brahmins, they wear sacred thread, right? From there, Jano, from there you know that he must be a pure person, right? But not those Brahmins. Prabhupada says that in Calcutta, they are doing this thela, You are a Brahmin, your work is not to pull thela. Your job is to educate people about, of Krishna, about Brahma, Brahma janati iti Brahman. They should know who is Brahma. And they should give others knowledge. So that's what, then those who are not Brahmin, they can become Brahmin by sanskar, by performing all these duties, With that, you can also become Brahmin. Brahmins means you wear sacred thread to know that I am knowledgeable and I can give you that knowledge to you about Brahma, So I think that this is how Prabhupada has started this sanstha, which we are today part of it, that we can also all become Brahmins by sanskar, performing sanskar means austerities, performing walking head to head with the Shastra, what is recommended for us in Kali Yuga, So that's what we do. And further you can go and say that. So here he's saying that he's very inquisitive. He keep on asking, are you one of those exalted, liberated saints, just like a Dattatreya, another highly advanced learned scholar? May I ask, whose disciple are you? Where do you live? Where do you have come from this place? Is your mission is coming here to do good for us? Please let me know who you are. That's what Rahugan is asking, right? So Srila Prabhupada says that when we go, those who wanted to know about the knowledge, right? That's why this very, every time you read, especially Science of Self-Realization and all those Shastra you read, they said, this slok comes, Tad Vignartham Sa Gurum Avigachet. Those who wanted to know the knowledge about the Brahma, they go to the Guru, the one who knows the Brahma. They go to the Guru. That's why he said, Tad Vignartham Sagurum Evam Abhigachet. They go to the Guru. They find out who is the one who has the knowledge, and then he go to them. That's what it is. So here Srila Prabhupada said that Rahugan was accepting Jad Bharat as a guru, but a guru must prove his position, and not only by wearing a sacred thread, but by advancing knowledge in spiritual life. Prabhupada also says that to us, that whenever we go to this, we all say, oh, where are you going? We say, oh, I'm going to Vrindavan. We say, oh, where are you going? I'm going to Jagannath Puri. I'm going to do all this Yatra Dham, the places where Krishna and the Krishna's forms, they lived and they stayed. Then we think that by going there, you will become purified and you will be, all the sins will vanquish. But that's not true, according to the Shastra. If you go to this kind of dhamas, you need to go and find out that who can give me this spiritual knowledge. If you don't do it, Prabhupada says that you are four-legged animal only. There is a Srimad Bhagavatam slok. Bhagavatam says that if you go to this Yatra Dham, if you go to this different dhams, for Yatra, and if you don't inquire going there, that who am I, where I have come from, and if you don't try to go to a spiritual person and try to inquire the knowledge about it, you are only a four-legged animal. That's what it says here. So we must learn this from this kind of quoting Shastras, Gurus. They are teaching us. They are saying that. Prabhupada here also says that it is also significant that Rahugan asked Jad Bharat which family it belongs to. There are two types of families. So there are two dynasties, right? Dynasty and spiritual paramparas. So you can learn the knowledge from either one of them. So we have to learn this, and we have to go further in this. In either way, one can be enlightened. The word Suklaha refers to person in mode of goodness. If one wants to receive spiritual knowledge, he must approach a bona fide Brahman Guru, either in the disciplic succession or a family of learned Brahmans. So we must learn this knowledge from either disciplic parampara like this, or the dynasty. What Krishna has said, a dynasty. That dynasty, if you are into it, then you can also learn this knowledge. And by learn and equip with this knowledge, at the end, Krishna says that if you come to me, then yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramamama. Arjun, if you come to me, then you don't have to come back to this material world again. And no more disease, no more death, no more birth, and no more old age, which we are trying to prevent right now, right? By our material things, artificial things. We are trying to stay young. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening, and we will come back again tomorrow. We will read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we will learn what Krishna has to say in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5. Now 5 is over, so we'll start with chapter 6, first slok. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment? He is one of Krishna's incarnation. Dattatari Bhagwan.
It's a Brahma, Vishnu and
Mahesh.
together.
It's a combination, of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. But anyway, any other question or comment? No? We conclude that everybody knows or understood what we say here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
I was going to Texas. I went to the school there. And on the way, there was this lady next to me. I gave the book. She was like, she was really, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll try to
I think that's what